Hello viewers, today we explore Switzerland, the land of peace, where the majestic Alps embrace the emerald green Lake Geneva, and Rolex watches symbolize precision. With a population of 8.9 million in 2025, an area of 41,285 square kilometers, and a GDP of $885 billion US, Switzerland is a center of diplomacy with the United Nations in Geneva and a luxury economy from Lindt chocolate to UBS Bank. Imagine skiing in Zermatt under the Matterhorn or enjoying cheese fondue in Gruyères. From Fastnacht Basel to Chillon Castle, Switzerland combines nature, a history of neutrality since 1815, and modernity with Serene in Geneva. This 10-part journey will take you through the Alps, multilingual culture, and exquisite cuisine. Subscribe to the channel for interesting content and leave comments about Switzerland. Let's get started. Switzerland is located in the heart of Europe, with an area of 41,285 square kilometers, landlocked, bordered by Germany, 348 kilometers, to the north, France, 572 kilometers, to the west, Italy, 740 kilometers, to the south, Austria, 165 kilometers, and Liechtenstein, 41 kilometers, to the east. Its strategic location makes Switzerland the heart of Europe, with the 57 kilometers long Gotthard Tunnel, the longest in the world in 2016, connecting Zurich and Milan in 3 hours. The terrain is divided into 3 regions. The Alps cover 60% of the area, with the Dufourspitz Peak, 4,634 m, at Monte Rosa, and the Matterhorn, 4,478 m, near Zermatt, the symbol of the Alps, inspiration for the Toblerone logo. The Middelland Plateau, 30%, has fertile plains from Lake Geneva, 582 square kilometers, the largest lake in Western Europe, to Lake Constance, 536 square kilometers, bordering Germany. The Jura region, 10%, with its 1,679 m high limestone hills at Mont Tendre, famous for the 150 m deep Creux du Van cave. Switzerland has 1,500 lakes such as Lucerne, 114 square kilometers, with its Kapellbruck wooden bridge, and 900 rivers with the Rhine, 375 kilometers, and Rhone, 264 kilometers, providing 60% of the hydroelectric power. The Rhine Falls in Schaffhausen, the largest in Europe at 150 m wide, have a flow rate of 600 cubic meters per second. The climate is temperate continental with 4 seasons: cold winters, -5 degrees Celsius to 5 degrees Celsius, with 2 m of snow in the Alps, ideal for skiing in St. Moritz with 350 kilometers of pistes, spring, 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, with cherry blossoms in Basel, humid summers, 20 to 25 degrees Celsius, with the Fen wind from the Alps causing floods in Ticino, autumn, 10 to 15 degrees Celsius, with red leaves in Gruyères. Average rainfall of 1,200 millimeters per year, but climate change is melting the Alps by 2% per year, increasing flooding in Zurich with a 1 billion Swiss francs damage by 2024, prompting a 5 billion Swiss francs dam and wave forest project. The geography offers diverse landscapes from the kayaking Lake Thun to the hiking Jura with 65,000 kilometers, but challenges such as avalanches in Gstaad, 100/year, require environmental management. Switzerland invests 500 million Swiss francs in preserving Lake Geneva, maintaining an ecosystem with 30 species of fish such as perch. The location and climate create 4 seasons, from the meadows of Interlaken to the 51 degrees Celsius hot springs of Lückerbad, which are the basis for ecotourism and adventure. The history of Switzerland dates back to the Celtic period, 800 BC, with the Helvetii tribe in the Middelland Plateau, building wooden villages and worshipping the Rhine River god, leaving the Latine legacy in Lake Neuchâtel with bronze objects from the 5th century BC. In 58 BC, Julius Caesar conquered the Helvetii, established the Roman province of Helvetia, built the city of Aventicum, Avanch, with an amphitheater for 16,000 spectators. After 476, the Alemanni, Burgundians, and Lombards tribes migrated, forming the German, French, and Italian language regions. In the Middle Ages, 9th to 13th centuries, Switzerland belonged to the Habsburg dynasty, but in 1291, the three states of Uri, Schwyz, and Unterwalden signed the federal treaty at Rudley Meadow against Austria, giving birth to the ancient Swiss Confederation. The Battle of Morgarten in 1315 defeated the Habsburgs, expanding the federation to 8 states. William Tell, shooting the apple in 1307, was a symbol of resistance. During the Renaissance, Switzerland supplied the Swiss Guard mercenaries to the Pope from 1506. The Protestant Reformation of 1523 under Zwingli led to the Kappel Civil War, but the Peace of Kappel in 1531 maintained religious neutrality. In 1648, the Peace of Westphalia recognized Swiss independence. During Napoleon's reign, 1798, France established the Helvetic Republic, but the Congress of Vienna in 1815 recognized permanent neutrality with 22 cantons. Switzerland avoided World War I and II, becoming a center of diplomacy with the Red Cross, 1863, founded by Henri Dunant, who won the Nobel Peace Prize in 1901. After the war, the Wirtschaftswunder increased its GDP by 5% per year thanks to watches and pharmaceuticals. In 1848, the federal constitution was modernized with 26 cantons, and in 2002, Switzerland joined the United Nations but rejected the EU to remain neutral. In 2025, Switzerland celebrates the 730th anniversary of the Treaty of 1291, with heritage sites such as Chillon Castle, a 12th century prison in Montreux containing 100,000 artifacts, and the Helveticum Zurich Museum with 1 million Celtic artifacts. Switzerland holds 4 referendums a year and maintains direct democracy. Its history is a story of neutrality, federalism, and resilience, from resistance to the Habsburgs to global peace, with Geneva, the headquarters of 200 international organizations. Swiss women, numbering around 4.5 million by 2025, are a melting pot of beauty, blending Alpine heritage with modern strength, from traditional dirndls to leadership roles in science and business. Their physical beauty is highlighted by their fair skin from the Alpine climate, and their blonde or dark brown hair tied up in a dirndl, a traditional dress embroidered with Edelweiss from Appenzell, 500 Swiss francs, worn at the 200,000-strong Fastnacht Basel Festival. Women in Zurich wear modern Gucci fashions reflecting their urban style, while Ticino women have a Mediterranean look with their brown hair and silver jewelry. Audrey Hepburn, born in Switzerland in 1929, with her elegance in Roman Holiday in 1953, and Martina Hingis, the world #1 tennis player in 1997, with her strong body, represent classic and modern beauty. The spirit of resilience is shown by Johanna Spyri, author of Heidi in 1880, which sold 50 million copies, about a little girl in the Alps, and Iris von Roten, a feminist who pushed for women's suffrage in 1971 with Frauen im Loftuter. Modern women like Fabiola Giannotti, director of CERN since 2016, discoverer of the Higgs boson, and Viola Amherd, Minister of Defense in 2019, lead politics with 42% of parliamentary seats in 2024. Women make up 48% of the workforce, but only 30% of leaders, and earn 18% less than men according to the OECD. In Gruyères, women produce Gruyère cheese, exporting 30,000 tons a year for 20 Swiss francs per kilogram, and in La Chaux-de-Fonds, a UNESCO heritage site, they make Patek Philippe watches for 50,000 Swiss francs. The Frauenpower program supports 5,000 women entrepreneurs by 2024, such as Zurich-based entrepreneur Anna Muller, whose fintech startup has a turnover of 10 million Swiss francs. The challenge is the pressure to look good in the 5 billion Swiss francs per year cosmetics industry, but the hashtag #MeToo movement in 2017 pushed for equality. In the Jura, women wearing dirndls work in the fields of Lavaux wine, exporting 50 million Swiss francs. Swiss beauty is a blend of traditional dirndls and strength from Hingis to Giannotti, connecting alpine heritage with a scientific future, inspiring through literature and sport. Switzerland's population is 8.9 million in 2025, with a density of 215 people/km superscript 2, concentrated in Zurich, 1.5 million, and Geneva, 0.5 million, while the Alps such as Graubünden are sparsely populated with 50 people/km superscript 2. The ethnic composition is diverse. 69% speak German, Schweizerdeutsch in Zurich, 23% French, Geneva, 8% Italian, Lugano, 0.5% Romansh, Graubünden, the ancient Roman language preserved through bilingual schools. Migration from Italy, Germany, the Balkans accounts for 20%, with 250,000 people from Portugal working in Lausanne. Life expectancy is 83 years, but the aging population, 19% over 65, causes a labor shortage, leading to the import of 100,000 foreign workers/year. Swiss culture is a federation. The spirit of the Eidgenossenschaft since 1291 emphasizes direct democracy with referendums 4 times a year, such as the Green Energy Vote 2024. Art ranges from Paul Klee's paintings in Bern with the Zentrum Paul Klee Museum containing 4,000 works, to Le Corbusier's architecture with Villa Lulac in Corsos. Music ranges from the Alpine Yodeling in Appenzell, a 3M Alphorn festival that attracts 20,000 people, to the electronic music of the Street Parade Zurich with 1 million spectators. Sports include skiing in Davos, 250 kilometers of slopes, and football, with FC Basel winning 20 times. Catholics and Protestants are 60%, but Alpine folk beliefs such as the Harvest Festival and Valais reflect a reverence for nature. Street food includes Rösti fries in Bern, bratwurst sausages from Zurich, and Zopf sandwiches from Lucerne. In 2024, the Swiss film industry will export 1 billion Swiss francs, with Ursula Mayer's sister, 2012, winning the Berlin Prize. The challenge of reconciling 4 languages with 26 cantons with their own laws has led to the Swiss-made program, which invested 100 million Swiss francs to promote culture through anime and design. The Lausanne Olympic Museum houses 1,500 artifacts from Pierre de Coubertin. Swiss culture, from yodeling to precision watchmaking, bridges Alpine heritage and modernity, creating a multilingual identity with unique festivals and arts. Swiss festivals are a cultural boom in the Federation, with more than 2,000 Matsuri each year attracting 10 million visitors, contributing 15 billion Swiss francs to tourism by 2025 according to Swiss Tourism. Fastnacht Basel, February's biggest carnival, is a 3-day event with 12,000 paraders in devil masks, lanterns, and piccolos, attracting 200,000 spectators, originating in the 14th century as a Catholic exorcism. The Fête des Vignerons in Vevey in July-August, held every 20 years, celebrates wine with 5,500 dancers and singers on an outdoor stage, attracting 1 million people in 2019 and is a UNESCO heritage site. Zurich Sechsalauten in April lights a 3m tall book scarecrow to herald summer, with a traditional 16th century guild parade attracting 50,000 visitors. Geneva's L'Escalade in December reenacts the 1602 defense of the city against Savoy, with 40,000 people eating chocolate and marmite. Appenzeller Silvesterklausen in January in Appenzell, with its giant bells and wooden masks following the Julian calendar, attracts 20,000 visitors. Small festivals like the Schubertide in Schwarzenberg in August, featuring Schubert music, attract 10,000 classical fans. Fastnacht will reduce plastic by 20% in 2025, and the Fête de Vignerons will limit tickets to protect Lake Geneva. Unspunnen in Interlaken in August, with its 83-kilogram stone throwing and 13th century swing and wrestling, attracts 30,000 people. Montreux Jazz Festival in July, with 250,000 spectators, welcomed Miles Davis in 1991. Festivals reflect the diversity of the canton: Basel with its Catholic carnival, Vevey with French wine, Ticino with its Mediterranean festival. Switzerland invests 50 million Swiss francs in sustainable festivals, such as using LED lights at Fastnacht. Swiss festivals, from Basel masks to Lavaux wine, combine folk beliefs with modern fun, offering a deeply cultural experience with vibrant colors and sacred rituals from the Alps to the lakes. The Swiss economy is the richest in Europe with a GDP of $885 billion in 2025, growing 1.8% according to the IMF, led by finance, pharmaceuticals, and watches with a GDP per capita of $92,000, the highest in the world. The financial sector accounts for 10% of GDP, with UBS and Credit Suisse in Zurich managing $3 trillion in global assets, processing $5 trillion in transactions per year on the SIX Swiss exchange. Pharmaceuticals from Novartis and Roche export $100 billion, with Roche's cancer drugs and COVID vaccines accounting for 20% of the European market. The luxury watch industry with Rolex, Omega, and Patek Philippe accounts for 55% of the global market, exporting 25 billion Swiss francs in 2024 from La Chaux de Fonds, a UNESCO heritage site with 50 factories. Agriculture accounts for only 0.7% of GDP but is highly productive with Gruyere cheese, 30,000 tons/year, 20 Swiss francs per kilogram, and Lindt chocolate exports of $5 billion. Tourism brings in 60 billion Swiss francs with 15 million visitors, up 5% post-COVID, thanks to resorts like Davos with 300 kilometers of ski slopes. The challenge is public debt of 40% of GDP and inflation of 1.5%, but neutrality helps avoid war, attracting foreign investment of 200 billion Swiss francs per year. The government invests 100 billion Swiss francs in R&D, with CERN in Geneva spending 1 billion Swiss francs per year to discover the Higgs boson. Fintech startups in Zurich grow by 20% with 400 companies such as Crypto Valley, generating 500 million Swiss francs in revenue. Organic farming in Valais produces Lavaux wine, exporting 50 million Swiss francs. Switzerland leads in green energy with 60% hydropower and 10% alpine wind, aiming for 50% renewable by 2035. The challenge is a shortage of labor due to an aging population, importing 100,000 workers from the EU. Switzerland also exports precision machinery such as Swatch Group with 8 billion Swiss francs in revenue. The Swiss economy, from Zurich banking to Geneva watches, is a beacon of precision and sustainability, with brands like Nestlé and Richemont leading the way globally, despite the need to tackle inequality in rural areas like Ticino. Switzerland is a biodiverse country with 65,000 species of flora and fauna, despite being only 0.03% of the world's land area. The Alps cover 60% of the territory, with 4,000 species of plants such as the edelweiss, the alpine flower, and animals such as the ibex, 10,000, and Gran Paradiso on the Italian border, and the marmot in Zermatt. The Matterhorn, 4,478 m, attracts 300,000 climbers a year with its 1,200 kilometers hiking trail, home to the golden eagle and Apollo butterfly. Lake Geneva, 582 square kilometers, contains 30 species of fish such as perch and trout, making it ideal for diving and sailing, while Lake Constance, 536 square kilometers, on the German border has 50 species of migratory birds such as the white stork. Switzerland has 7 national parks, 6% of its area, such as the Swiss National Park in Engadin with 5,000 species from brown bears to red deer. Forests cover 31% of the area with Jura pines and oaks in the Midland, but deforestation due to urbanization is reducing by 1,000 hectares/year according to the Ministry of the Environment 2024. Climate change is melting the Alps by 2% per year, causing floods in Ticino costing 5 billion Swiss francs in 2024. The 2025 Conservation Plan invests 2 billion Swiss francs to protect lakes and forests, reducing the extinction of 10 species such as the alpine kestrel. The 150m wide, 23m high Rhine Falls is a scenic spot with 1 million visitors a year. Lake Lucerne, 114 square kilometers, and Thun, 48 square kilometers, offer kayaking and fishing, while the Lückerbad hot springs with 65-51 degrees Celsius water sources attract 500,000 visitors. The Jura Hills have endemic flora such as wild orchids, and the Valais region has 500 species of butterflies. Switzerland protects 20% of its territory through parks and reserves, with a reforestation project in Graubünden restoring 10,000 hectares. Swiss nature, from the Matterhorn to Lake Geneva, is an ecological treasure, attracting adventure tourism with trekking and scientific research in the Jungfrau, but needs protection from floods and avalanches, with 100 a year in Gstaad. Swiss tourism will reach 15 million visitors by 2025, bringing in 60 billion Swiss francs, up 5% according to Swiss Tourism, creating jobs for 10% of the workforce. Zurich with the 12th century Grossmünster Church and Lake Zurich attracts 5 million people, ideal for yachting and shopping at Bahnhofstrasse, the most luxurious street in Europe with 200 Rolex stores. Geneva stands out with the 140-meter Jet d'eau fountain and the CERN tour to explore the Higgs boson, attracting 2 million visitors. Bern, the UNESCO capital, has the 1530 Ziegler clock and the iconic Bear Tunnel, welcoming 1 million people. Zermatt with the Gornergrat train up the Alps to see the Matterhorn, 4,478 m, has 360 kilometers of ski trails, attracting 3 million visitors. Lucerne with the 204-meter-long Kapellbruck wooden bridge from 1333 and Lake Lucerne for kayaking. Interlaken, between Lakes Thun and Brienz, is a hub for paragliding and trekking, with 1.5 million visitors. Lausanne, with its Olympic Museum and Lake Geneva, has cruises for 100 Swiss francs. Swiss cuisine is a heritage, with melted Valais cheese fondue for 30 Swiss francs per person, hot cheese raclette from Wallis, Rosti fries from Bern, and Lindt chocolate from Zurich, an export value of $5 billion. Appenzeller beer and Lavaux wine from Lake Geneva, at 50 Swiss francs a bottle, are specialties. Dishes like Zürcher Geschnitzels, creamy beef stew, and Zopf cake from Lucerne are popular at the market. Sustainable tourism limits visitors to the Alps to 1,000 per day to protect the ibex and edelweiss flowers. Switzerland offers experiences from the Matterhorn to Fondue, with views from Chillon Castle to Lake Constance, creating itineraries ranging from adventurous to relaxing, blending alpine nature with sophisticated urban culture. In 10 parts, we have discovered Switzerland from the majestic Alps, the history of neutrality since 1815, the beauty of women from Dirndl to Giannotti, the multilingual culture with yodeling, the Fastnacht Festival, the $885 billion economy with UBS and Rolex, the nature of the Matterhorn, to Zurich tourism and fondue. In 2025, Switzerland with 8.9 million people will lead the pharmaceutical and watch industry, despite facing a 40% public debt and 2% per year of melting alpine glaciers. The spirit of federalism and neutrality will lead the future with CERN and green energy. Switzerland teaches precision and harmony. Subscribe to the channel to discover more and leave a comment about the Swiss places you want to visit. Thanks for joining us. Let Switzerland conquer your heart. This is a country that, when mentioned, you will immediately think of the snow-capped mountains of the Alps, sophisticated watches, and sweet chocolate bars that melt in your mouth. Switzerland is not only famous for its natural beauty, but also a symbol of prosperity, peace, and modernity combined with tradition. Join me to explore this country, from the charming capital Bern to the beautiful small towns nestled at the foot of the mountains. If you love exploring new lands, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment to share your feelings. Switzerland is known for its breathtaking natural landscapes, with 60% of the country covered by the majestic Alps. Mountains such as the Matterhorn, Jungfrau, and Eiger are not only destinations for climbers, but also a paradise for those who love skiing, hiking, or simply want to enjoy the beauty of nature. If you come to Interlaken, a town located between two beautiful lakes, Lake Thun and Lake Brienz, you will admire the scenery like a painting. From here, you can take the train to Jungfraujoch, known as the roof of Europe, where you can stand at an altitude of more than 3,400 meters and admire the sparkling glaciers. Switzerland's transport system is considered one of the best in the world. From Zurich International Airport, you can easily get to Bern by train in about 1 hour and 15 minutes for around 50 Swiss francs. The Swiss train system, operated by the SBB, is known for its punctuality and comfort. In Bern, you can travel by tram or bus, with a single ticket costing around 3 to 5 Swiss francs. If you plan to stay longer, you should buy a Swiss travel pass, which gives you unlimited travel on public transport and discounts on many attractions. If you want to explore the mountains, the Glacier Express or Bernina Express will take you through some of the most beautiful routes in the world, with majestic mountain and valley views. Switzerland is a multilingual country, with 4 official languages: German, spoken by about 60% of the population, French, 20%, Italian, 6%, and Romansh, an ancient language spoken in some small areas. In Bern, German is the main language, but you will easily come across English, especially in tourist areas. The Swiss are known for their punctuality, orderliness, and environmental awareness. When walking around Bern, you will see incredibly clean streets, with carefully separated bins, green for glass, yellow for plastic and paper, and gray for household waste. The locals are very serious about recycling, and you will be warned if you accidentally throw your trash in the wrong place. Switzerland is also one of the safest countries in the world. In Bern, you can walk around at night without worrying. The police patrol regularly, but they are friendly and only intervene when necessary. In addition, public services such as automatic weight measuring machines or free drinking water stations are located everywhere, bringing convenience to both residents and visitors. Switzerland is one of the richest countries in the world, with a per capita income of around $92,000 by 2024, according to sources like Forbes. Key industries include watchmaking, Rolex, Patek Philippe, banking, and pharmaceuticals, Novartis, Roche. Brands like Nestlé and Victorinox, famous for its Swiss Army knives, also have roots here. However, the cost of living in Switzerland, especially in Bern and Zurich, is among the highest in Europe. A one-bedroom apartment in central Bern will cost around 1,800 to 2,500 Swiss francs per month. A meal at an average restaurant can cost 20 to 40 Swiss francs, so take advantage of supermarkets like Coop or Migros to save money. Switzerland is a landlocked country located in the heart of Europe, surrounded by its famous neighbors, France to the west, Germany to the north, Austria and Liechtenstein to the east, and Italy to the south. Thanks to the Schengen Agreement, traveling between Switzerland and these neighboring countries is extremely easy, making Switzerland an ideal destination for short weekend trips. With an area of only about 41,285 square kilometers, Switzerland is much smaller than the larger European countries, but its population of about 8.7 million is well distributed, with modern but not too crowded cities. The capital, Bern, with a population of about 150,000, is one of the smallest but most charming cities in Europe. In addition to Bern, Switzerland is famous for cities such as Zurich, a bustling financial center, Geneva, the cradle of international diplomacy, and Lucerne, a gem by a clear blue lake. Switzerland has a rich history, with its independence established in 1291 when the first three cantons signed the federal treaty. The country is known for its neutrality, not participating in any of the world wars, and is home to many international organizations such as the United Nations in Geneva and the International Olympic Committee in Lausanne. In Bern, you can visit the Einstein House, where the great scientist Albert Einstein lived and developed his theory of relativity. This small house is now a museum, providing an insight into his life and work. Bern, the capital of Switzerland, is a city that is both ancient and modern. Founded in the 12th century, Bern is one of the best preserved cities in Europe, with its old town a UNESCO World Heritage Site. As you walk along the cobblestone streets of central Bern, you will feel the intersection of history and the present. The Aare River winds through the old town, dividing the city into two parts, with the West Bank being the center of cultural and commercial activity. The old town is characterized by blue domes, sandstone buildings, and ornate 16th century fountains. One of the highlights of Bern is the Zittglaube Clock Tower, an architectural masterpiece that houses a 13th century astronomical clock, where you can watch mechanical puppets strike the hour. Bern is also home to the Swiss Parliament building, a magnificent structure completed in 1902. Not only is the building a political hub, it is also open to visitors, where you can admire the splendid murals and learn about Switzerland's unique system of direct democracy. Swiss cuisine is a wonderful fusion of German, French, and Italian influences. A must-try is cheese fondue, where you dip pieces of bread into a pot of melted cheese. If you visit Bern in winter, try rosti, a deep-fried potato dish served with meat or eggs. Don't forget to indulge in Swiss chocolate, with famous brands such as Lindt, Toblerone, and Nestle. If you visit Bern's pastry shops, try the Zuger Kirschtorte, a sweet cake with a signature cherry cream filling. Norway is known as the land of fjords. Fjords like Geirangerfjord and Sognefjord, the longest fjord in the world, are natural masterpieces with steep cliffs, waterfalls that plunge hundreds of meters, and emerald green waters. If you come to Bergen, take a fjord cruise to feel the majesty of Norwegian nature. In winter, Norway is one of the best places in the world to see the northern lights. From September to March, northern cities like Tromsø or Lofoten become ideal destinations to witness the blue, purple, and red lights dancing across the night sky. Combined with small fishing villages, surrounded by snowy mountains and the sea, you will feel like you are stepping into a fairy tale. Norway has a long history, dating back to the Viking Age, 8th to 11th centuries. Viking warriors conquered the oceans, leaving their mark on European culture and history. At the Viking Ship Museum in Oslo, you can admire perfectly preserved wooden ships, such as the Oseberg and Gokstad, which are testaments to the Vikings' excellent shipbuilding skills. Norway became a unified kingdom in the 9th century and remains a constitutional monarchy today, with King Harald V as the symbol of national unity. Norway is also known for its peace policies, with the Nobel Peace Prize being awarded annually in Oslo. Norway is a land of sparkling fjords, snow-capped mountains, and the magical Arctic lights. From the vibrant capital city of Oslo to small coastal villages, Norway offers an unforgettable experience. Join me on this journey to discover the beauty and charm of this country. If you love exploring new lands, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a comment to share your feelings. Norwegian cuisine is influenced by its geography, with dishes based heavily on seafood, game, and dairy products. A traditional dish not to be missed is lutefisk, cod cured with lye, often served with potatoes and cream sauce. For something simpler, try farikål, a lamb stew with cabbage, considered Norway's national dish. Seafood is a source of pride for Norway, with Norwegian salmon world famous for its freshness. You can enjoy smoked or grilled salmon in restaurants in Oslo. Don't forget to try brunost, a distinctive brown cheese with a sweet flavor, often served with bread or waffles. If you visit Oslo's markets, such as Mathallen, you'll find a wide variety of local foods, from reindeer sausages to Scandinavian berry jams. And of course, a cup of coffee, Norway's favorite drink, is the perfect way to end the meal. Norway is located in the western part of the Scandinavian peninsula, with an area of approximately 385,207 square kilometers, but a population of only 5.5 million, making it one of the most sparsely populated countries in Europe. Although not a member of the European Union, Norway is a member of the European Economic Area, EA, and the Schengen Agreement, making it easy to travel to neighboring countries such as Sweden, to the east, Finland and Russia, to the northeast. Norway is famous for its coastline of more than 25,000 kilometers, dotted with thousands of fjords, natural wonders recognized by UNESCO. Besides Oslo, other notable cities include Bergen, the gateway to the fjords, Trondheim, the historic center, and Tromsø, the ideal place to see the aurora borealis. Norway is a culturally diverse country, but the main language is Norwegian, with two main varieties, bokmål and nynorsk. English is widely spoken, especially in Oslo, making it easy for visitors to communicate. Norwegians are known for their friendly yet reserved personality, with respect for personal space and social order. In terms of religion, about 70% of the population is Lutheran, but Norway is a very open society, with about 20% of the population not following any religion. Minority communities, including the indigenous Sami people and immigrants from Europe and the Middle East, bring cultural diversity to the country. Norwegians are very environmentally conscious. In Oslo, you will see clearly separated trash bins, green for organic waste, blue for paper, and black for general waste. The city encourages cycling and public transport, with dedicated bike lanes throughout. Oslo also prides itself on being one of the cleanest cities in the world, with clean air and streets that are virtually litter-free. Norway is a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts. In the winter, you can ski at Holmenkollen, Oslo's famous ski resort. Summer is the perfect time to go hiking, kayaking, or fishing in the fjords. Oslo also hosts many festivals throughout the year, such as the Øya Festival, one of the largest music festivals in Northern Europe, or the Christmas Festival with its illuminated markets. If you're in Tromsø in the winter, don't miss the Arctic Lights Festival, where you can watch the aurora while enjoying live music. Norway's transportation system is extremely efficient. From Oslo Gardermoen Airport, you can take the Flytoget Airport Express train to central Oslo in just 19 minutes for around 200 Norwegian kroner, Norwegian krone. Within the city, trams, buses, and the underground, T-Bane, operate smoothly, with a single ticket costing around 40 Norwegian kroner. To save money, you can buy an Oslo Pass, which includes unlimited public transport and admission to many museums. If you want to explore further afield, Norway's train system, such as the Oslo-Bergen line, takes you through some of the most beautiful routes in the world, with views of fjords, mountains, and waterfalls. Ferries are also a popular way to travel between islands and coastal towns. Other highlights include the Oslo Opera House, a modern architectural masterpiece on the Oslofjord, with its unique sloping roof that invites visitors to climb for breathtaking views of the city. The Lofoten Islands, Norway's northern jewel, are enchanting with their vibrant red fishing villages, majestic mountains, and thrilling whale watching opportunities. A Hurtigruten cruise along the Norwegian coast takes you past majestic fjords and charming seaside towns, offering an unforgettable experience. Each destination blends architecture, nature, and culture, creating a unique Norwegian experience. Oslo, the capital of Norway, is a modern city that still retains its natural and historic charm. With a population of around 700,000, Oslo is compact but vibrant, located on the Oslofjord, a beautiful fjord leading into the North Sea. The city is surrounded by green hills and pine forests, giving you a feeling of being close to nature even when you are in the urban center. Downtown Oslo is a perfect blend of modern and historic architecture. The Norwegian Parliament building, Stortinget, with its neoclassical style, is where you can learn about the country's democracy. Nearby, the Royal Palace, Det Kongelige Slot, set in a lush park, is the residence of the Norwegian royal family. Visitors can tour the palace in the summer and witness the ceremonial changing of the guard. A must-see is Vigeland Park, Vigelandsparken, the world's largest outdoor sculpture park, featuring over 200 stone and bronze sculptures by Gustav Vigeland. These sculptures, ranging from human figures to abstract symbols, create a unique artistic space that you can't take your eyes off. Norway is one of the richest countries in the world, with a per capita income of around $82,000 by 2024, according to reputable sources. The oil and gas, fishing, and technology industries are major economic pillars. Well-known brands such as Statoil, now Equinor, and Telenor are headquartered in Norway. However, the cost of living in Norway is among the highest in Europe. A one-bedroom apartment in central Oslo costs around 12,000 to 15,000 Norwegian krone per month, around $1,100 to $1,400. A meal at an average restaurant will cost around 200 to 300 Norwegian kroner, but you can save by buying groceries at supermarkets like Rema 1000 or Kiwi. Oslo is consistently ranked among the world's most livable cities, competing with cities like Vienna and Zurich. The city is known for its clean environment, excellent education and healthcare systems, and high level of safety. Located at the crossroads between Central Europe and Southeast Europe, Croatia is not only famous for ancient cities like Dubrovnik, recognized by UNESCO as a World Heritage Site, but also for natural wonders such as Plitvice Lakes with 16 emerald green lakes connected by hundreds of majestic waterfalls. With a population of around 3.9 million in 2025, an area of 56,594 square kilometers, and a nominal GDP of $83.5 billion in 2024, Croatia is one of the fastest growing economies in Europe, growing by 3.9% in 2024 and forecast to grow by 3.2% in 2025. From its rich history with the ancient kingdom of Croatia to its war of independence in the 1990s, from its delicious Mediterranean cuisine to its vibrant festivals, Croatia will captivate you. This journey will take us through 10 in-depth explorations that will help you understand this crescent-shaped country better. And if you're excited about this topic, subscribe now for more great content like this, and don't forget to leave a comment below sharing your thoughts on Croatia. Now, let's get started. With a population of around 3.87 million according to the 2021 census and an estimated 3.9 million in 2025, Croatia is a sparsely populated country with a density of 75 people per km superscript 2, mainly concentrated in the capital Zagreb, around 800,000 inhabitants, and coastal cities such as Split, Rijeka, Osijek. Ethnic composition: 91.6% Croats, 3.2% Serbs, and smaller groups such as Bosniaks, Hungarians, and Italians. Croatian is the official language, a South Slavic language, using the Latin alphabet, with English widely spoken in tourist areas. Croatian culture is a blend of Mediterranean, Central European, and Balkan influences. The Rijeka Carnival, Europe's largest with colorful costumes and parades, or the Ultra Music Festival in Split attracts hundreds of thousands of visitors. The Roman Catholic influence of 78.9% of the population is reflected in the grand Christmas and Easter celebrations, while the Ottoman and Habsburg heritage has resulted in diverse architecture ranging from Gothic cathedrals to Baroque palaces. Croatia boasts literature through Marko Marulic, the father of 15th century Croatian poetry, and modern art through sculptor Ivan Nastrovic. Sport is a source of national pride, with football, World Cup runners-up 2018, third in 2022, and basketball, and stars such as Luka Modric and Nikola Tesla, the Croat-Serbian inventor. This cultural diversity fosters tolerance, and despite a history of war that has divided Croatia, it is now a model of European harmony. Croatia is a diverse adventure, attracting more than 20 million visitors in the year before the pandemic, and up 3.3% in the first half of 2025 thanks to the recovery. The capital Zagreb, with its ancient Austro-Hungarian architecture, bustling Dolag market, and unique Broken Relationships Museum telling the story of a broken love. Dubrovnik, the pearl of the Adriatic, with its 2 km long ancient city wall, where Game of Thrones was filmed, and the nearby island of Lokrum with its botanical garden. Split, with Diocletian's Palace, the world's most vibrant UNESCO World Heritage Site, and the lively Bakvis Beach. Plitvice Lakes, a natural wonder with 16 turquoise lakes and waterfalls, attracting 1.8 million visitors a year. Istria in the north, with the old town of Ravenj like a little Venice, and wine farms. Var Island, the sunniest in Europe, with lavender fields and vibrant nightlife. By 2025, green tourism will be on the rise, with cycling along the coast or trekking the Dinaric Alps, although rising prices are a concern for budget travelers. Croatia has a blue flag for its clean beaches, and Opatija, the Nice of the Adriatic, has a history of tourism dating back to the 19th century. With fewer crowds than Italy or Greece, Croatia offers authentic experiences, from Roman history to pristine beaches. Croatia's history dates back to prehistory, with Neanderthal remains at Krapina Cave from the Middle Paleolithic, and Neolithic cultures such as Starcevo, Baden, and Vuzdal, notable for the Vuzdal Duff statue from 2800 to 2500 BC, a symbol of ancient art. During the Iron Age, the Illyrians dominated the region, with tribes such as the Liburnians and Delmati, before the Greeks established colonies such as Pharos, now Var, in 385 BC. By 9 AD, the region had become the Roman province of Illyricum, where the Illyrian Emperor Diocletian built his majestic palace at Split in 305 AD, now a UNESCO World Heritage Site. After the fall of the Western Roman Empire in 476 AD, Slavs and Croats migrated in the 6th to 7th centuries, establishing 2 principalities and being Christianized under the Byzantine Emperor Basil I, 867 to 886. Duke Branimir received papal recognition in 879, and Tomislav became the first king in 925, establishing a powerful kingdom of Croatia, which reached its height under Petar Kresimir IV and Dimitar Zvonimir in the 11th century. After Zvonimir's death in 1089, Croatia entered a personal union with Hungary in 1102 under King Koloman, maintaining the Sabor Diet and the Viceroy ban. The 15th to 16th centuries saw Ottoman invasions, with battles such as Krbava, 1493, and Mohacs, 1526, leading to the Croatian Diet electing Ferdinand I of Habsburg in 1527, making Croatia part of the Austro-Hungarian Empire. During this period, Venice controlled Dalmatia minus Dubrovnik, an independent republic that thrived on trade, while Croatia's military frontier was established to resist the Ottomans, creating a heroic legacy of brave frontier guards. Croatia's ancient and colonial history is a story of resistance and cultural fusion, laying the foundations for a resilient national identity. Croatian cuisine is a perfect blend of Mediterranean and Balkan cuisine, with fresh seafood from the Adriatic such as grilled squid, Buzara lobster stewed in tomatoes, and grilled meats such as pica. Lamb or beef stewed under an iron bell with vegetables, slow cooked in a charcoal oven. Dalmatia is famous for its rich red Playvac Molly wine and Istrian olive oil, the best in the world according to awards. National dishes include pasticata, beef stewed with prunes and wine, or sarma, cabbage rolls, served with homemade bread. Dessert includes frickel, small donuts sprinkled with sugar, or rosata, caramel pudding. The Croatian lifestyle is relaxed, with long morning coffees at waterside cafes, and sports such as football or water polo are national passions. In Zagreb, urban life bustles with music festivals and Christmas markets, while on the coast, people enjoy siestas and family barbecues. Life expectancy is 74 years for men and 80 years for women, with a 99% literacy rate and high-quality education by EU standards. Despite its economic growth, Croatia maintains a slow pace of life, emphasizing family and nature, but challenges such as youth migration and rising prices by 2025 are expected to impact tourism. Eating in Croatia is not just about filling the stomach, it is also about cultural connection, from long dinners with rakića, a strong fruit brandy, to sharing historical stories. Croatia is strategically located at the crossroads of Central and Southeastern Europe, bordering Slovenia to the northwest, Hungary to the northeast, Serbia to the east, Bosnia and Herzegovina and Montenegro to the southeast, and sharing a maritime border with Italy across the Adriatic Sea to the west. Distinctive in its shape, Croatia stretches from the fertile Pannonian Plain in the north to a 1,777 kilometers (1,100 miles) Adriatic coastline in the south, comprising more than 1,000 islands and islets, of which 48 are permanently inhabited, including Cres and KRK, the two largest islands with an area of approximately 405 square kilometers each. The terrain is varied, the towering Dinaric Alps, with Dinara Peak, 1,831 m, the country's highest point, run along the border with Bosnia, while the interior is meandered by the Danube, Drava, Sava, and Kupa rivers, forming a rich river system. Part of the southern territory around Dubrovnik is separated by a narrow strip of Bosnian land at Neum, but the Peljasak Bridge, due to be completed in 2022, has provided seamless connectivity. Croatia's climate is varied. The interior has a temperate continental climate with cold winters, lowest -35.5 degrees Celsius in 1919, and warm summers, highest 42.8 degrees Celsius in 1981, while the Adriatic coast enjoys a pleasant Mediterranean climate with hot summers, average 25 to 30 degrees Celsius, and mild winters, 5 to 10 degrees Celsius, with an average rainfall of 600 to 3,500 mm/year, the highest in the Dinaric Alps. Islands such as Var and Korčula are among the sunniest in Europe, with over 2,700 hours of sunshine per year, creating ideal conditions for beach tourism. This geography not only offers natural beauty but also challenges such as karst terrain that occupies half of the territory with hundreds of deep caves, requiring sustainable management to combat climate change and erosion. Croatia is a high-income economy according to the World Bank, with a nominal GDP of $83.5 billion in 2024 and a PPP GDP of $166.9 billion. Growing at an average of 4.8% over the past 3 years, outpacing the EU. Growth is forecast at 3.2% in 2025, driven by strong household consumption and infrastructure investment from EU funds. Tourism is a mainstay, accounting for nearly 20% of GDP, with 6.8 million visitors in 2019 and a 3.3% increase in foreign arrivals in the first half of 2025, despite concerns about rising prices. Other sectors, industry, shipbuilding and Split, pharmaceuticals such as Pliva, agriculture, Dalmatian wine, Istrian olive oil, and services, banking, technology. Croatia exports machinery, pharmaceuticals and food, and imports oil and cars, with Italy, Germany, and Slovenia as its main partners. Joining the Euro and Schengen in 2023 will boost trade, but challenges include public debt of 85.3% of GDP in 2020, now falling. Inflation of 4% in 2024 expected to fall to 3% in 2025, and dependence on tourism, which makes the economy vulnerable. The government is investing €400 million from the European Investment Bank in 2024 to modernize the railways, and a green growth strategy to diversify and turn Croatia into an Adriatic logistics hub. From a post-war socialist economy, Croatia is now an EU growth star, with GDP per capita reaching 76.9% of the EU level in 2024. Croatian women, who make up 51% of the population, around 1.98 million in 2025, are the soul of the country, shaping its history, culture, and future with their resilience and creativity. Since the 15th century resistance against the Ottomans, women like Mila Gaj-Salic, the heroine who sacrificed her life in 1530 to destroy the gunpowder depot in Poljica, have become symbols of indomitability, celebrated in poetry and monuments. During the War of Independence, 1991 to 1995, thousands of women served as nurses and fighters, such as Maria Simundic in Vukovar, contributing to the victory. In politics, Kolinda Grabar-Kitarović, the first female president, 2015 to 2020, put Croatia on the map, promoting women's rights through the Croatian Women's Forum. The proportion of female parliamentarians will reach 31% by 2024, exceeding the EU average, with leaders such as Maria Selak-Rasputic championing women and children. However, only 20% of board seats are held by women, highlighting the challenges of gender equality. Croatian culture is marked by women. Composer Dora Pejacevic composed her first symphony, while director Hana Jusic conquered the Venice Film Festival. Women on the island of Pag preserve the UNESCO art of lace weaving, and in Dalmatia, they lead the traditional klapa dance. In society, women make up 60% of university students, but the wage gap, 10% lower than men, and domestic violence, 15,000 cases in 2023, remain barriers. The Gender Equality Strategy 2021 to 2030 is supporting female entrepreneurs and protecting victims. By 2025, women will lead tourism, 60% of the workforce, and technology, such as Madia Zolj startup Agrivi. From artisans in Pag to guides in Plitvice, Croatian women are the force that connects tradition and future, inspiring the world. Croatia is a biodiversity haven, with 8 national parks and 2 strict conservation areas covering 9% of its territory, and it became the 33rd member of the European Environment Agency in 2021. The Adriatic Sea is the cleanest in Europe, with top swimming water quality in 2023, and the EU's richest freshwater resources per capita in 2024. Karst terrain covers half the country, creating deep caves, 49 of which are deeper than 250 m, and the Plitvice Lakes, a system of 16 lakes with waterfalls, home to more than 1,000 species of plants and animals such as brown bears, wolves, and lynx. The Dinaric Alps are the Balkan green lungs, with forests covering 47% of the area, supporting diverse ecoregions from Mediterranean oak forests to alpine grasslands. The coastline of more than 1,000 islands is a breeding ground for sea turtles and migratory birds, while the Danube, Europe's longest, offers a rich wetland ecosystem. Croatia is committed to conservation, with 50% of its mainland territory protected according to a 2017 study, and green projects such as the Blue Flag for its beaches in 2011. However, climate change threatens with rising sea levels and wildfires, requiring a low-carbon strategy. Imagine wandering through Risenjak Forest with a cool Bura breeze or diving on the Adriatic Reef. That's the endless appeal of Croatia's nature. Switzerland, with its capital city of Bern, is a must-see destination for anyone looking to explore Europe. From its quaint streets and majestic mountains to its diverse culture and top-notch quality of life, Switzerland is truly a gem. Whether you are a nature lover, a history buff, or just want to enjoy a cup of coffee by the Aar River, Switzerland will not disappoint. If you enjoyed this journey, leave a like and follow to discover more great destinations. See you on the next trip.